Good evening.
Hello.
Hey, Nima.
All right, good people. Welcome. Yeah, you might have noticed we call you good people because we just want to remind ourselves that there are still some good people out here.
Thank you, Lord.
We need to know that tonight, don't we? We need to know that. I am Dr. Lakeba Williams, and this is Fresh Hope Today. I want to slide it over to my co-host.
I'm Lauren. I am a licensed associate professional counselor with Fresh Hope. This is also my mom.
Yes.
Just in case you didn't know. So, yeah, absolutely.
We are so happy to be with you tonight. We are Fresh Hope Today, coming with some fresh hope. For some people, hope is a 4-letter word, and not in a good way, because they find themselves in situations and circumstances, and they're hoping for someone to change, someone to do something different. But tonight, we want to talk about the only thing that we can change, which is ourselves tonight. Yes. Hello. We are streaming live on several different platforms.
We got a lot going on.
So welcome to all you good people that are joining us again. And if there's some new folks out there, welcome to you. We're so happy you could join us on Fresh Hope Today. Yeah. What are we talking about tonight? Boundaries. Well, I'm talking about boundaries. Yeah. So are you out there and you have difficulty saying no to people? Anybody out there and you find it difficult to say no to people? Anybody out there and you feel like it's your responsibility to make sure everybody's all right, that they have everything they need before you sit down?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're tired, ain't you? You're weary.
You're worn
out.
Yeah, you're worn out.
Well, we got good news tonight.
You might need some boundaries.
Absolutely.
And we're going to talk about that tonight. Yes. So hopefully Mom and I talk about something that's helpful to you, something that you can take home. If you're already home, something that you can just lock in your heart. Our goal is to help to increase the quality of your life with the information that we're going to share with you tonight. Hey, Eric.
So before we do that, we do want to read a disclaimer. And so if you'll bear with us, we'll read that tonight before we get started. This episode should not be used as a substitute for medical or mental health advice. Individuals are advised to seek independent medical advice, counseling, and or therapy from a healthcare professional with respect to any medical condition, mental health issue, or health inquiry, including matters discussed on this episode. So this will not replace your therapy.
Hey, Michaela.
But we hope it will encourage you to go get your couch on.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely. We also want to share with you our mission statement. We feel like it's really important to talk about why we're doing what we're doing. What's the point of us being on live and recording and doing all of this? We'll have that for you. I'm going to read it. So our purpose for creating Wisdom Wednesday is to extend to you the wisdom that we both have acquired over the years from personal experience, academic theory and research, and from our wonderful clients of whom we have the pleasure of walking through life with.
Yes.
We hope to create a safe space to encourage you to act wisely and to make choices that best align with the values that you have and lead you to your true self. So we don't want to tell you what to do. We hope to aid you in the direction that you want to go in to be your true self. So before we kind of get into what we're talking about today, if you have not subscribed, and I don't mean go to the page, okay? I don't mean like. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, we're not going to be on live starting next week. So we're going to go strictly, we'll be on YouTube live for I think 2 weeks. And then we're going to just start uploading videos and we'll let you know about that. But if you go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, you ain't got to worry about missing it.
Yes.
It'll always be there. Yeah, every time we upload something. So you can go to our Instagram, which is Fresh Hope Today.
At Fresh Hope Today.
Today. And if you can, we would love for you to follow the page. And then from there's a link to the YouTube channel. It's growing. It's growing. We have some really exciting news that we're going to share at the end. So stick around so that you can hear it. So yeah, we wanted to do that first. Make sure that if you haven't already subscribed, if you haven't already followed, do that. Share it with somebody. It's a lot of good, free psychoeducation that we are given. We are happily giving that to you tonight. But we want to spread the news about it, and we hope that you can help us in doing it.
Yes.
All right. Let's go.
And so with that said,
right,
we have a rhyme to what we do. Right? There's a protocol to what we do.
Yeah,
and so, because there's a proper way to do things. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So we come tonight with some knowledge, some understanding, and some wisdom. So if you don't stick to the end, you're going to miss the wisdom. And the wisdom is the transformational knowledge, right? As Dr. Miles Monroe has said, that wisdom is transformational knowledge. It's that knowledge that will change your life. So we're going to come with some wisdom at the end. So you do want to stick around for that. That is, in fact, why we're doing what we're doing. The wisdom in this age, we need to have wisdom today because we're dealing with a lot of different things. Time moves so fast. Technology takes us, in places. I mean, we can learn so much, but we need wisdom because knowledge, there's a scripture that talks about people are ever learning. But they're not applying it. They're not getting any wisdom. So tonight we want to talk about wisdom. And then in the middle, that middle part is about the understanding.
Right.
What do we do with the knowledge that we have and why is it important? So tonight we want to talk about boundaries.
Boundaries.
Is that something y'all need to talk about? Talk back to us. Get in the chat.
Yeah.
Do you need to talk about boundaries tonight?
When you think about boundaries, what do you think about? Like what comes to mind when you hear the word boundaries? What comes up for you? For me, I see just a wall, kind of like a wall, like I've got a button and it can just shoot down.
Oh,
right. That's what I think about when I think about boundaries. Yeah. Somebody say, yes. What do y'all think about when you think about boundaries? What comes up for you? Yeah. What comes up for you when you think about
boundaries? Yeah. So we're about to, it's football season. Okay. So for me, when I think about boundaries, I think about the Heisman. I'm like, you, instead of namaste,
right?
I'ma stay. I'ma stay over here. You stay over there,
right?
Because you got to have the boundaries. Okay, you got to have the boundaries. We got to make sure that for me, boundaries. The definition is what's okay,
right,
and what's not okay.
They said what you want allowed.
Absolutely. Yes, what you want allowed. Because for me, the boundaries are what's okay. That's okay. But if it's not okay, then there's a boundary there. That's not okay.
Right.
And so thank you, Rev. That's exactly what it means. It's what you will allow and then what you won't allow.
Right.
And all of that is, it's important. Because it's communicating how you want to show up in relationships and what's important to you. And some of us, we've grown up in situations and circumstances, or we've been in relationships where you felt like you couldn't have boundaries. That if you said no, then the person the ego was so fragile, they were going to fall apart and it was just going to be over if I say no. And so, some of us are learning how to do it. And that's the purpose of the episode tonight. It's just to put that thing on Front Street and say, we have the right to set boundaries.
Yeah.
We have the right to say no. We have the right to say yes. We have the right to change our minds. We have the right to create and to show up for ourselves, right? Oh, my space. Yes, that's my space. This is my space. Yeah. Talk to us about boundaries. What are boundaries?
So what are boundaries? Boundaries are expectations and needs that help you to feel safe and comfortable in relationships. So I'm going to read that again. Boundaries are expectations and needs that help you to feel safe and comfortable in relationships. It's important. It's important. What's standing out to me right now is those two words, safe and comfortable. Those are essential, right? In relationships with people, they allow you to show up as your best self and as your worst self, right? When you have boundaries. It's important to feel safe when you're around people. It's important to feel comfortable. especially when you're choosing to be around them. There's a difference between riding a train and you don't know who you sent to your right or you don't know who sent to your left.
Or you're talking about public transportation.
Absolutely. But if I'm inviting you into my space, right, whether it's my physical space, my mental space, my emotional space, and I don't feel safe and comfortable where there's a problem there, right? And we have the remedy to the problem, right? At least one remedy that we want to share.
Boundaries. You know what stands out to me? Expectations. So part of your definition was expectations. And I say to my clients all the time, adult relationships are principally about managing your expectations. They're about you letting the other person know what you expect, because there are some reasonable expectations in relationships. You know, I meet with people sometimes and, you know, they say, well, I don't have expectations in relationships.
Right.
And I look at them and I say, yes, you do. At least I hope you do.
Right. Please have them.
Well, but I think sometimes, especially in dating relationships and stuff like that, when you're just meeting someone, people feel like, well, I don't have expectations. Because truth be told, you know, we're going to tell the truth. We've been disappointed. We've been let down. And so we don't want to admit that we have expectations of a certain code and conduct in relationships.
Right.
Because we're afraid that if we put that out there, that the person won't meet that, and then we'll be alone. Now, somebody out there, y'all know I'm talking about.
Right.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
How to deal with it. Deal with the disappointment of being let down. Deal with the disappointment of things not going your way. Dealing with the disappointment of being hurt. Right. Those are all reasons why people don't set boundaries. That's too difficult. It's too hard, or seemingly too difficult or too hard.
And yet it's very necessary if we want to feel safe.
Right. And comfortable.
In
relationships.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I've heard it said this way, a relationship is a ship. And so you and the other person are on a ship, and the destination is, well, what we're hoping tonight, you and the person you're in a relationship with, both of your highest good. Come on, somebody.
Yeah.
Both of your highest good. So if you on a ship and it's just for the other person's highest good, then you might want to
abort mission,
get off at the next stop. You know, when you go on them cruises and they take you for the excursion, you might want to get off on that stop. I mean, because I'm just saying, because if the ship is taking you and somebody else, and it's a journey together, you want to reach your highest good. And that's what we're hoping for everybody on this call tonight. Right. And most of the time, your highest good is going to involve setting boundaries.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. So let's talk about some signs that you need boundaries.
Okay.
So what do you guys think, just in your own life, your own experience, what are some signs that you feel like you may need boundaries? What are some indicators that you ain't got no boundaries, or that they're not strong boundaries? Yeah. We'll see what you guys have to say. We have some people chatting and talking. Right. Something that we were talking about when we were preparing for this was just always saying yes. Yeah. Right. Your first, somebody ain't even got finished their sentence. Yeah. And the first thing you say, I can do it. You ain't even checked the schedule. Yeah. But you already thinking about how you can drop whatever it is that you need to do for yourself to do for somebody else. Somebody says physical boundaries, time boundaries, conversation boundaries. Absolutely.
We're going to talk about that. That's in the understanding portion. Yes.
Yeah, discomfort in saying no. Yeah, Shay, it's hard. You feel kind of that flutter in your stomach, right? Or that heart palpitation when you're about to tell somebody no, when you're about to say, hey, I'm not going to be able to do that, right? That might be an indication that we need to set some boundaries, or at least set them regularly so that we don't feel like we hold something down
and
every time we tell somebody no.
It gets easier. The more you do it, the more germane it becomes to you. Yeah. Like, because no is a complete sentence.
Period. No, period. Not no, I got to go do this. No, actually, I wish I could, but I can't. No, just no.
No, and that's I ain't going to be able to do it.
Right. Because if we're in a relationship and my hope for you is your highest good, you don't have to tell me why. You don't have to go into detail as to why this is
because
important.
You not doing it is for your highest good, and I want your highest good.
Right, absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely. Come on, somebody. I love you.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what are some signs that you need boundaries. And if I'm reading this and you're like, ooh, that's me, you can put your hand up. You can put it in the chat.
Yes.
Let's start. Neglecting self-care, right? A lot of the times we hear from our clients, I don't have time. That is code for us as therapists. You need some boundaries. And you need some boundaries.
Yeah.
You need some boundaries. So self-care, yes, getting your hair done, getting your hair braided, going to get a massage for guys, going to get that haircut, whatever it is. But it can also mean going to the doctor, going to the dentist, going on your walk, right? That's self-care, doing your meditation in the morning, right? Doing whatever it is that you need to do, your devotion, not dropping everything that you have to do to accommodate another person. And sometimes we have to do that. But it's really important that we implement self-care into our daily routine if we are not doing that. And I would go so far as to say this might be a little controversial. It doesn't matter what you've got going on. So that's how many kids you got, your situation, whether it's your finances or whatever. You may not be able to get your nail, may not be able to do all these other things, but there are things that you can do that benefit you and increase the quality of your mental health, increase the quality of your physical health that you can start doing today. Yeah. So you have to make the time. When you ain't got the time, you got to make the time. So what does that look like? You may have to get up a little earlier. And that's talking to myself. I might not be able to press snooze. I may have to wake up. I may have to get up and start doing what I need to do, right? Instead of waking up and thinking about all of the obligations that I have for everyone else.
Because charity begins at home. Y'all, love at home. Right. It starts at home. Yeah. So we want to take care of ourselves so that we can be there and take care of our loved ones.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
That wasn't controversial.
Thank you. Yeah. I don't know why I was like, wisdom. It's wisdom. Yeah. All right. Feeling overwhelmed. I feel like those commercials. Are you always feeling overwhelmed? Right. Is it hard for you to say no? Well, you need some boundaries. You need some boundaries. So if you're always feeling overwhelmed, if you catch yourself when you're in conversation with people and they ask you how you are, this is the third person that's asked you in the span of the week, and you say, I'm just tired. I'm overwhelmed. I just don't have it in me. Even though that's socially acceptable in our society today, we live in a capitalistic society, we're always going. That's an indicator to us as mental health professionals that you need some boundaries. Yeah. Because if you're always feeling overwhelmed or you're always feeling tired, that means that we haven't hit the Heisman like Mom said, or we haven't put down that wall like I talked about to give myself space to breathe, to do, right?
Or maybe you're calling someone else on the phone to tell them how somebody else called you and asked you to do something. She called me and she asked me to, and I'm tired of her asking me to. Well, let me tell you something.
When she called, what you do?
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
I'll send it to you.
I'm going to do it.
I'll be over there.
You missed the person. They're going on and tell them, I ain't going to be able to do it. When y'all were young, I used to tell, I ain't going to be able to do it. I ain't going to be able to do it. Or, okay, cool. Right. I got you.
Right.
I could do that.
Right.
Because if it's for your highest good, man, I'm here for that.
Right. Absolutely. So, absolutely. Let's keep going.
Let's do it.
You feel resentment towards people when they ask you for help.
Yeah.
So you start to form this resentment towards a person, right? Because they're needing you and you're not setting that boundary. So it's not like you're giving from just the kindness of your heart or the love. We say a lot of our clients come in and they say, well, I'm just such a loving person. I got a big heart. Yeah. Last time I checked, it's an average size heart for us.
Everybody heart about this size. Yeah. Whatever your size of your fist, not that size of your heart.
It's not the Grinch. It's not going to expand and it's not going to, contract. Goodness. It's the same size as everybody else's, give or take. Man, woman, boy, girl, height, size, weight, stuff like that. Right. But you don't have no big heart. You got the right size heart for you. And you need to utilize it in a way that's going to help you to be healthy. Not help you to be like, I gave that to her and she didn't give it to me back. And I helped her this way and she didn't. And did you know he had the nerve to ask me for this and then he didn't do it in return?
So the resentment is that long-standing unforgiveness.
Yeah, that's good.
It is long-standing unforgiveness. So over time, I know in my own life when I've not been assertive in my communication, and it just bottlenecks, right? And after a while, it's like you want to share, but then it's almost like your throat chakra, it just closes up, and you don't have the words. Somebody out there might know what I'm talking about. But we're talking tonight about this to give you permission to begin to communicate that you know what, I'm at this place where I realize I'm overwhelmed because I'm doing too much. And last I checked, we are human beings, not human doings. Y'all know what I'm talking about? And I'm make no mistake, AI is out there doing a whole lot of things that, and it's doing it whether y'all want it to do it or not. So, we're going to use it for good. Yeah. Well, while I understand that you can get a Chat GPT. Yeah, you can get Chat GPT to write your emails, send your texts, and you can voice whatever. Let it help you. I mean, it's gonna do it anyway. And then you can be getting your nails done and your hair done and doing a meditation, doing some yoga. I had to roll up my mat earlier today. I'm telling you, be good to yourselves, because premature death is a real thing. And it's based on us not taking care of ourselves and not being good to ourselves. And we will say this, everything that we're saying, Lauren and I desire to live out of an authentic space. And if you know us, you know that to be true. We're living this right alongside you. These are things that we know that are important, and we're practicing them right alongside you. So thank you for allowing us to be on this journey.
Kayla said Chat GPT will get you a whole degree.
Hey, that's what they say. That's what they say.
All right. You feel burnt out. Yeah. How many of us know what it's like to feel just burnt out? Yeah. Right? You just laid out. You don't know up from down, left or right. Y'all know I say that all the time. And you don't have any motivation, right? You want to just kind of crawl into bed, put your covers on, lay there and hope nobody calls you. That's feeling burnt out, right? No motivation to do anything. You almost just envision a candle literally just going to its last, burning out. To prevent that from happening, we want you to implement some boundaries. So let's get into that. So that was the knowledge around what boundaries are. Let's talk about understanding. So we want to understand boundaries. What can they look like? What are the different types of boundaries?
So we're going to talk about the types of boundaries first. And you guys are right, spot on. So they're time boundaries. And so that's when we know we need to protect our time so that we can pay attention to the things that really matter to us. There's also emotional boundaries. And those boundaries protect our emotions and mitigate our exposure to hurt and disappointment. And so in this life, we're going to have trouble. But some of the trouble we're dealing with is because we don't have boundaries. And our intuition, the voice within, our inner guide, is batting 100. She or he is telling you what you need to know all the time. It's always spot on. And so just paying attention to that will help us and minimize the opportunities for hurt. Also, energy boundaries, right? To have enough energy to do all the things that we have to do on a regular basis. How about intellectual boundaries? They kind of help us to formulate our ideas and make sure that they're respected by other people, right? That's important. Physical boundaries, personal boundaries, sexual boundaries, identity boundaries. Everybody out there has an intersectionality of your identities. And what do I mean when I say that, right? I'm a woman. I'm a Black woman, right? I'm a sister. I'm a mother. I'm a friend. I'm a daughter, right? I have a lot of identities that intersect. Right. And I have to think about my boundaries and how I can show up as my true self in all those spaces. Financial boundaries. Yes, absolutely. Shay, we were going to the concert, right? And there was a section that I had budgeted for that we were going to sit in. And if we planned on sitting in the other section, I was like, y'all got to catch me on the flip side because I'm trying to do some other things. Right. Because, you have to set those financial boundaries so you can do the things that are important.
Right.
And I say this all the time: live for today, plan for tomorrow. I'm gonna live for today. Y'all know hip hop turned 50, right? Where are my hip hop heads out there? So hip hop turned 50, as did I. So I've been doing my thing this year. I've been hopping. Y'all know I like to move around, but it takes coins to do that. Mm-hmm. So you got to have some financial boundaries if you want to do some of the things that you're trying to do out there. And we celebrating that with you.
Yeah. Someone says, what if boundaries offend others? We're going to talk about that. Stay right with us. We're going to talk about that.
Yes.
Let's talk about, thank you for that. Let's talk about the different levels of boundaries. To just continue with the understanding. Some practical kind of application right after following this to answer the question I was just asked. So excellent 3 question. Levels of boundaries. We have porous boundaries, rigid boundaries, and healthy boundaries. So porous boundaries, somebody with porous boundaries, I'm gonna just show y'all this picture. This is what y'all look like. This is what y'all look like. Okay.
You mean that's when what I look like when I had porous boundaries.
Right.
I was biting my nails and worried. Absolutely. My edges was gone because I was worried.
Yeah. That's the person they always running around with. They're always going so fast because they're doing so many different things for different people. So a person with porous boundaries, this may be you, right? That's okay. This person overshares. Right? Mm-hmm. There is no period. If they're asked a question, they are going to overshare, over-explain. Y'all are sitting at a table. You talk about a topic. That person's going to go on and on and on and on and on. When you think about porous, Mom always says, think about a sponge, right? With the holes in it, the water just seeps through. This person also might suffer from codependency. They feel what other people feel, even if it has nothing to do with them. So they try to appease that person so that they don't feel what they feel, right? So if I'm angry for whatever reason, Mom, if she is codependent or she's suffering from codependency.
Or if I'm a highly sensitive person, those are 2 different things. We're going to do an episode on both of them.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So stay tuned. Come see us again.
She's going to make efforts to appease me, right? Well, where does that leave her? Not in a good space, looking like my girl. Bless her heart. Here she is again. Yeah. We don't want to look like that. I don't want to look like that. And I don't want y'all to look like that. Right? This is a people pleaser.
Yeah.
A yes man, a yes woman.
Where my PPs out there? People pleasers.
My people pleasers.
Yeah. Or reform people pleasers.
Reform people
pleasers.
Right.
Yeah.
You ain't got no. You're dependent. Yeah. It's really difficult for you to make a decision without having to consider 1 person, 2 person, 3, run it by 6
validation. I need that external validation.
Yeah. You need it. Literally, you need it. Yeah. You're almost paralyzed if you don't have it. And then finally, most importantly, you accept mistreatment. I'd even say you accept abuse, right? Because the boundaries are porous.
We're doing a part 2 on the boundaries where we're going to expound a little bit more on the abuse.
Right.
And so maybe you're out there and you've accepted poor behavior from other people and you realize it's because you didn't exercise your Heisman. You didn't put the wall up. You didn't say that's not okay. We want to encourage you to find your way to a therapist or a psychologist or a counselor or a life coach to talk through how do you begin to set those boundaries and get that support? We're going to learn tonight the knowledge, the understanding, and the wisdom. But some of us have been in situations and circumstances where we just need that support to try those behaviors on. And we need to learn assertive communication in order to do it.
Right.
That was a great job on those porous, porous
boundaries.
Porous boundaries.
Yeah. Let's run through rigid. Rigid.
Yeah. So the rigid boundaries. You got the rigid boundaries. You just saying no to everything. You saying no to everything.
This is what she look like, y'all. This is what some of y'all look like. I look like this sometimes. Rigid. I would not want to ask her for a penny. She looked like she'll say no before I even get over that to her.
So the porous boundaries, we overshare when we have porous boundaries. That is an extreme. Rigid boundaries, we never share. People don't know us. They don't know what we like. They don't know who we are. We don't even open up to people. We have all that goodness that God has placed on the inside of us. We lock it away because we don't want to be hurt by people.
Right.
I say this all the time. It's in relationship that we're wounded. And yet God uses relationship to heal us.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's God's math, not mine. That God will use the way that we are hurt is in relationship, but God redeems that with good people. So you good people, y'all who I'm talking about. That's why we're here tonight, because we want to be socially fit, so that we're using, our hands and our feet, and we're taking good care of people. We're seeing about folks. People that with rigid boundaries build walls. They don't just use the wall for the boundary. They have Fort Knox. I mean, they have walls around them all the time. They avoid vulnerability. As a matter of fact, folks with rigid boundaries, vulnerability is excruciatingly painful for them. They cut people out. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anybody out there, somebody that cut you off in a minute? We live in cancel culture anyway, but these folks will cut you off. I mean, they will cut you off. There is no grace with folks.
And if you're reformed, that's okay too.
Reformed. They have very high expectations of other people, and they enforce strict rules on people. And as I sit with that and I think about, folks with rigid boundaries, if they're really hard on other people, just imagine how hard they are on themselves.
Oh my God.
And maybe you're out there and your boundaries are rigid, and maybe they can be really, you can have really high expectations of other people. Those are two extremes, but Lauren's got good news for us. There's somewhere in the middle.
Come with good news.
Yeah.
Look at him. Y'all see how he's smiling? He looks so peaceful.
Yeah.
He looks like he's just at peace.
Yes.
Look at him.
What kind of boundaries?
Well, this young person has healthy boundaries.
Healthy.
And
healthy
you can look like this too
if
you implement healthy boundaries. So what does that look like? Where you're clear about your values. So before you can even put it out there to somebody else, a lot of times it's hard for us to set boundaries. We ain't got them. We don't even know kind of what we're setting. We don't know where we end and we begin. Sometimes we need to take time, whether it's with a mental health professional, life coach, someone that you trust, to kind of navigate that space, or just on your own. Sitting with yourself, journaling is good for this. Just ask yourself, what are your values?
Yeah.
As long as you got to sit there, that's okay. Some will come out eventually. What are your morals? What's important to you? You have to know that before you set the boundaries with other people.
That's good.
So you're clear with others and with yourself about your values. You listen to that inner guide. We're really big on that in this space.
Oh, yeah.
The validation is important, but you're not going to die without it because you got somebody that you can talk to. You got somebody that you can talk to that's going to help you along the way, right? You share with people appropriately. You don't overshare, and you don't just sit around and listen to everybody else's mess. Not to say you got to share mess, but if it's a space of vulnerability with people that you feel safe and comfortable with, you share appropriately when you want to and how you want to, right? You're not withholding, but you're not, also projecting. Ooh, that was good.
That was good.
Well, you're comfortable with saying no. Oh. So you're not no,
not rigid.
And you're not yes. Yeah, but you're somewhere in the middle where you say no when it's no, and you say yeah when it's yeah. That's good. Right? You're comfortable with hearing no as well. Okay, so you can dish it. But you can also take it. I think that's really one of the main indicators of a person with healthy boundaries. They're going to respect you because they expect the same in return. So if I say, no, I ain't going to be able to do it, and you say, that's all right. Next week, if you say to me, I ain't going to be able to do it, what I'm going to say? That's all right.
Of course.
Because I love you and I care about you. So if, to answer your question, you're setting boundaries with people and they're upset, you don't have to take it personally. You don't have to take it personally. And it may not be that person doesn't love you. It may be that they're not abreast, educated, up to date with all of the information out there right now, some of the things that we're sharing with you related to boundaries. That's okay. But you do. You got the knowledge, so you don't have to take it personally. Sometimes you got to lead by example. Sometimes, people don't want to listen. And the only thing that you can share with them or you can show them is actions, right? And it doesn't mean, and I tell my clients all the time, just fix your heart. Ooh. Especially when you're worried about how somebody else is going to receive you. If I know in my heart of hearts that I have no ill will, no malice towards you when I'm setting a boundary, if I roll the tapes back, that's what's going to show up. So I don't have to question if I'm a bad person, if I'm this, that. My heart is right.
Come on.
It was right and it is right.
So light as a feather.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's light as a feather.
Absolutely. And that's how we want to be.
Light as a feather. That's what his heart looked like. He looked like he on vacation.
He looked like he looking up to
he looked like he on vacation.
Girl,
he on vacation. But you know what? As you were talking, Lauren, I was thinking to myself, the change back effect is real.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So if you've been tuning in to Wisdom Wednesday every week, your heart is getting lighter. I know it is.
Yeah.
Because our hearts are getting lighter, preparing to share with you.
Yeah.
And in social work, we call it the change back effect, because when you change and you grow and you start moving differently, some people want you to change back to the way that you were, because it was better for them when you were operating that way.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Things were running smoothly.
Yes.
Everything was as it was.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. But I came to tell you, that you don't have to, we absolve you. You do not have to move the way you've been moving.
This was sign language. All done.
Yes. How to do it?
Yeah. You don't have to do that.
You don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
And these are those attachment questions again. And we're going to do an episode on attachment, right? Angela asked for that.
Yeah.
And we coming with that, because the people that are there for you, they're going to be there for you. And they're going to know that what you're doing is for their higher good. And because they love you, it's for their higher good too.
Right. Right. Think
it's
about
for the higher good of everybody.
You're sifting when you're setting boundaries. And sometimes it's hard. Something is going to fall through. Right.
Yeah.
But the things of substance, the things that we're trying to keep, they're going to stay afloat.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to pull that up and see everything that you got to work with.
Yeah.
Right.
Good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sometimes we have to sacrifice the good for the best.
Right.
Yeah.
That was good.
We do.
What we're content with
was
with what's the best for us.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And we're okay. And to your point, like if people get upset about it, then they're allowed. That is their right.
Yeah.
You really do want to tune into part 2 of boundaries, because we start to talk about, you know, how to handle that in depth.
Absolutely.
But Lauren, to this question, we got to talk to us what we got to.
Yeah, we got to prepare for the smoke.
Yeah.
The smoke is coming.
It's coming when you
set boundaries. You leaving here, you feel good. You feel like,
I know you feel good.
I'm set some boundaries. I'm about to set boundaries. But you got to prepare for the smoke.
Yeah.
Because when you disrupt, right?
Yeah.
You interrupt somebody else's program with
their
your
agenda.
Boundaries, their agenda.
Yeah.
There's going to be some smoke, but you're equipped to deal with it.
Oh, yes.
You're equipped to deal with it, right? So that's why it's important to establish your morals and your boundaries, your morals and your, just who you are, making sure you know that before you go out into the world is really important, because there's going to be pushback. But you want to be pushed back onto that foundation, right? Push back onto the foundation of knowing exactly what it was then and what it is now. This is important to me.
Yes.
This was important to me. This is going to be important to me. Therefore, once again, my heart is light as a feather.
Light as a feather.
I don't have to hold any malice in my heart, even if you are upset with me, even if you reject me.
Yeah, it's okay.
Because what's important is that I know who I am.
But it's going to hurt, though.
It is going to hurt.
Because that's the smoke.
Right, absolutely. Okay. It's going to hurt you. Be
Lord.
coughing, because the smoke is going to make it, and it's going to make it difficult to see.
You're
not going to really know what's going on. But if you wait a moment.
Just wait.
Wait. The fog will clear, the smoke will clear, the dust will settle.
Yes.
And you'll still be able to keep your eyes on the prize. You'll still be able to move forward.
Your higher good.
You just got to wait. Wait through it. Use your resources. Watch these videos. Share these videos. Connect with your higher power.
Yes.
Reach out to a licensed professional therapist, life coach, whoever you trust. Most importantly, go within, right? Journal, meditate, spend some time with yourself so that you can refuel, because it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Wisdom tonight, Lauren.
Yeah.
we want to end with that. The knowledge, we've shared that.
Right.
I think we've gotten an understanding of the different levels of boundaries. We also talked about the different types of boundaries. But now we need to have some wisdom.
Yeah. I think wisdom for me tonight related to boundaries would be, I love myself more than my fear of disappointing other people. I love myself more than my fear of disappointing other people, because a lot of times lack of boundaries is fear of disappointment, fear of rejection.
Yeah.
The rejection can be, after the disappointment, I'm disappointed, so I reject you. I love myself more than that. And not in a way of vanity, but because I know that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, right? And I don't put myself in positions to be mistreated just because I'm fearful of somebody rejecting me, somebody being upset with me. Yeah. I'm able to kind of stand on my 2 feet, lovingly, caringly, respectfully, inserting my boundaries, upholding my boundaries. So I love myself more than that. I love myself more than fear of disappointing other people. That's my wisdom.
That is wisdom tonight. That is wisdom. Thank you for sharing that. That was good. As I was, just sitting here thinking, wisdom in my mind is every relationship goes through seasons of restructuring.
That's good.
Every relationship goes through seasons of restructuring. And so we needn't fear that. We don't have to be afraid of that. Sometimes it may be really, really close. And sometimes it may be a little distant. But that's the push and pull of life. And so we have to trust that, we want their highest good and we want our highest good. And so wisdom is, if we need to set the boundaries and say no, if we need to set the boundaries with our time or energy or whatever it is, that they're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. And we gonna be okay.
That's the most important, right?
Always, because listen, sometimes people are going to reject you when you don't do what they want you to do. But I say this all the time. You go here, you go here. If you go out here and they're not there, 1, 2 out of 3.
That's not bad.
You still winning, baby.
That ain't bad.
Winning. 2 out of 3, you still winning.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
We'll see you at the top.
Yeah.
Because you still winning.
Right.
You're winning. 2 out of 3 is the advantage. You are a winner. You go here, you go here.
And you're not alone. I mean, we're looking at all of these different platforms that we're on, and there's so many people tuning in and talking to us. And so there are other people that want to learn about boundaries. They want to learn that care about boundaries, setting them, and also respecting
social
them.
Fitness.
Right. This is a community.
Yes. Right. We are family. Right. We are here together, learning together. We're not saying we got it all figured out. If you know us, we don't. But I bet you $1 to a dime, we showing up, and this is it. And for some people, I'm not for everybody. And I'm okay with that. All right. Love y'all.
Okay, you guys, follow us on YouTube, Fresh Hope Today. Subscribe.
Yes, please.
Because we will not be going live in September.
Yeah, the first in September is all we're gonna be on YouTube. That's it.
That's it. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram. If you're on our page right now, thank you for being there. If you're on Facebook, go to Instagram. If you don't have Instagram, go to Facebook at Fresh Hope Today. If you're on my Instagram, go to Fresh Hope Today. Follow us because we're posting new stuff every day, and you don't want to miss. We got some really exciting news.
Tell about the news.
Okay. We have upgraded on y'all.
Yes.
So we look good like this right here. But we have just recorded an intro and an outro today.
Yes, so we had a producer. We had a producer. Yes, come on, y'all.
So we
serious about this thing.
Yeah, we serious.
Yeah.
We want y'all to come with us.
Yeah.
We really want y'all to come with us. And thank you for being here tonight, even if you just popped in. Thank you. We love y'all. So stay tuned for the stuff that we have coming up, and we will see you guys next week.
You winning 2 out of 3. Yeah.
Bye.
Peace. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Peace.
Love y'all.
Much love. Bye.